Here we are.
We back. You know, we in the studio, working hard.
We cooking.
That's right.
But one thing I would like to say, please like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
Just
do
don't
that.
view it. Hit the subscribe button.
the button.
At 400. We greatly
Cost you
appreciate
nothing.
it.
Absolutely free. We're not charging for subscriptions yet. It is absolutely free.
It's gonna make that sound when you do it.
Go make the sound.
You guys are good again.
Oh, God.
Every episode I'm gonna tell you. Oh, you wanna tell you look bad? When you look bad, I'm gonna tell you look bad.
Thanks for coming
Well,
out.
you
God
should
bless and
tell
good night. Russell intro. You got a Russell intro.
God bless you. Good night.
Thanks for coming out. God bless and good night. All right, come on, let's get it.
You guys get my blood pressure up.
Let's start.
You gotta get my blood pressure up.
Episode 5.
There's 5 of these?
Cinco
That's the
de
way it
something.
looks.
I do too many episodes with you guys. I think I'm gonna sit out the next episode.
All right, cool.
You
Sounds
know what I'm
good.
saying? And you see, you're gonna sit here and tell you guys you
Oh,
look
we
good.
gonna run right off the rails. Watch this.
Oh, boy.
Edits on edits on
Oh,
edits.
boy. This boy gonna be loose cannon.
Yeah, right. Who's gonna be your
another
handler?
thing.
Who's your handler?
Okay.
All right, the tipping point. What builds and breaks us? Suavemente. Come on.
Suavemente. All right.
My man got a
What's
book.
gonna-
This is crazy. This nigga got a real book.
Oh, yeah.
Real serious
I'm
book.
prepared. You got to be prepared.
I
Always
understand
prepared.
that, but go ahead. Take it
took
to the next
notes.
level. Take
I
it to the
took
next
notes.
level.
All right, tipping point in terms of what builds and breaks us. The thing that, come on,
Go ahead. I want to hear you, my brother. Go ahead. Speak your
touch
truth.
my arm.
Speak your truth, brother.
He's like, take your time, baby.
In terms of one of the things that really builds me, I think it is mastering a new skill or trying to figure out something new, something unfound, something unknown, at least to myself. I take a lot of pride in trying to master that skill to some degree or learn as much as I can about that subject. If it's building computers, I want to build every single piece that I can. If it's creating a piece of art or something like that, I really rather delve all the way into the background and the information about something before I start it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I definitely want to master that skill. So it could be anything as small as a sport or learning, learning a new language. You got to jump.
So besides your kids, that's the one thing that motivates you?
Yeah, and the kids was too easy. I mean, obviously my daughter is my main motivating factor, but outside of that, I think me just learning something and mastering something and approaching something new that is, again, something different, removing myself from an area that I was normally comfortable in, I think that's what motivates me to push on, to get better.
I got you. All right, B, what you got here? Other than kids, what motivates you most and why? What builds you and what breaks us up?
Earning. Working hard and earning. It's the only answer. So for me, that builds me. Like building that muscle to constantly be in a position to earn. That's it. That's what builds me.
Money?
Earning, the ability to earn.
Okay. You don't want to monetize it, just want to make it just general earning?
I mean, you
So
can't.
if it wasn't financial, could you still earn? Could you earn knowledge and skill and be okay with that?
I guess, but I guess it was financial.
You would.
Say it was the money.
Just got his taxes back. He said
Say it was the money.
the ability. I like the ability.
Mike said, hold on, watch this.
Say it was the money. What you got?
man.
Other than your kids, what motivates you the most and why?
What motivates me the most, besides my kids, is upholding who I am. I think for me personally, if y'all know me from when we was younger, the fact that if anybody tell me, Stu, you can't do it, that's, you done messed up. You done fucked up now. Because now you know you fucked up.
right?
You know you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up bad. So that's one of the things that motivate me. People telling me you can't do that, you're not good enough for this, or you don't fit the mold. I'm going to show you I am. And that's what motivates me. That's why, I do what I do now.
I dig it. I dig
You
it.
got, bro.
Besides the single malt that's motivating me right now for this episode, what motivates me, I think, most is I piggyback off of Stu's. I think the idea that people put you in a box, say, what you can and can't do, as like going forward, anything like goal orientated. I think what motivates me is just the learning of a new skill and proving you that I can be on your level or better than you at it. I bring that level of competition on everything. So whether it comes to playing a sport like basketball, if I can't do something, I'm gonna push myself to be that person that's doing it. Or even at work, if you are doing something that I can't figure out, I'm gonna learn that same said skill and do it as good as you or better, because when my name comes up, I want it to be synonymous with good and great. When you talk about me, I want you to be like, who Kush? Nah, yeah. You could think I'm an asshole, you could think I'm an idiot, you could think I'm whatever, which is really not ever the case. But if you say my name like, no, he's moron. Good. Or moron.
Yeah, we got that a lot.
Yeah, I got that moron. Yeah.
We got that a lot.
Words hurt.
He got it a lot. I ain't gonna hold you.
Words hurt.
I would say I want to make that my 1B. I think integrity, the integrity of not only mastering that one thing, but delivering. Like actually taking something from where it was at and making it that much better, or giving it that much more of an effort. The integrity of delivering or having people that expect you to deliver, I think that motivates me more, because in the end, they know Mike's gonna do it.
Yeah.
For despite all of the obstacles, he's gonna figure that shit out.
Yeah.
And I think that integrity factor is what really motivates me to get something done, or at least to be better at something that I didn't know about before.
So let me ask you this: What are some things that really break you as a man?
Again, I think it's the flip side to that exact same coin. I think that me underrepresenting or knowing that people expect me to deliver in a certain way, more so, I'm gonna say disappointment. If you're disappointing somebody who really looks up to you and really anticipates you coming through for them, and you can't, or you don't, and it was a choice of yours, not saying you messed up, you know what I mean, and you failed or you fucked up and you couldn't, today, my tire blew out and I couldn't get here, so I had to hop in an Uber. But I know that if I wouldn't have shown up, I got 3 men that are depending on me to get here, whether I got 3 tires, 2 tires, or hop on a damn train. So me not being able to deliver, again, it's the integrity factor. So if I mess up on my end, I think integrity is more important to me than anything. More important.
You know. So what about even in the work aspect? If somebody anticipated you to do, Mike, I expected you to do this, or I expect this of you, and you failed to do that, is that something that breaks you too?
That's the thing. I don't know. If I tried and failed, that's one thing. I could live with myself. But if I failed to deliver, or if I failed to uphold my end, you know what I mean? Like if I was telling them, yo, I'm gonna be there at 10 o'clock to help you out, and I don't show up till 1, now I'm beating myself up for the rest of the day because somebody gave enough shit about you to even invite you to help them. And if you couldn't help them, you should have said that from the beginning.
I'm gonna throw to you, Stu. What you got on that? What are some things that really break you as a man?
Nothing.
I will not be broken.
I'm not.
Ivan Stu.
Nothing is going to break me. No matter what. I done been through too much in my life to let something break me. What's going to break you?
I like it.
Even if it's be a minor setback, you still got to figure this shit out and go on with life. So why you going to let it break you?
I like it.
Ain't not going to break me.
All right, we're never going to call you Ice. I got you.
I feel like I already knew my answer. My answer was the inability, just like the same way he said, the flip, the inability to earn, the inability to
Provide.
To provide. That does. But then you a little bitch. Get your ass up and go outside. And I get it, but that moment in time, because there's been times I've been on more job interviews than anybody, right? So like those times when you're in between and you're looking for something, those moments can be hard. Like those moments are rough. Those are really rough moments.
But you know what? At the end of the day, those hard moments, what happened? You figured it out, right?
Yeah.
Did it break you?
No.
It didn't break you.
Yeah,
It made you worry.
Right.
But it didn't break you.
Nah, I might have broke him.
Yeah.
It didn't
say that. You
Break it don't mean necessarily quit. It could have broke you down.
It didn't break you to the point where
Almost
you know
broke the table.
you see when people refer to breaking, people break down from these things that whatever happens.
So let's ask that. Have you ever broke down? You ever felt yourself having a breakdown, like alone in your own space?
I think that would be like up to me, like personally, like what would be like my level of stop. But that would be from.
But that's a specific question. Have you ever found yourself?
Visually, it would be, wow, he's not even moving. He's not even moving in no direction. He's not even moving. And has there ever been a moment when I was just not moving? I was broken to the point of not moving. Yeah, there's been times.
Okay, so you've been broken. You felt yourself break the same. You felt broken.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does that look like?
For me, one of the more recent ones was I had a job of damn near 10 years.
No. What does, like I said, for me, it would be my inability to move.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So after that job of 10 years, I knew I would get back on my feet, but mentally where I was at, it looked like not moving. It looked like, you know what, sit your ass down right here and figure it out before you just try and pick right back up and jump on that wheel again. It looks like, yo, reset, reevaluate, and really have honest conversation with yourself, because you know who you are better than anybody else. And as much as you want to give yourself pep talk or look to somebody to give you good advice or lend you a hand, you know that ultimately you have to pick yourself up. So if that looks like you getting knocked down and waiting to the 8 count to get up, that's okay. You don't have to get up on 1 or 2 to show everybody that you tough and that you a man. But as long as you get your ass up and finish out that fight, that's okay. So again, sometimes it looks like that. Me just literally trying to figure shit out by sitting down.
So you just
it doesn't have to be depression.
Well, I'm saying you had a mental break. That's what you.
I ain't gonna say it's even a mental break. I literally had nowhere to go. I literally had nowhere to go.
But it would be based on each individual.
That's what I'm saying.
So what does? Okay, have you ever had a moment where you felt like you broke, and if that
doesn't
was
even have to be a choice.
If that was a break, what did it look like? Like at your worst moments of hustling and doing whatever you got to do, it was a time in which I just, and that would be reflective of me being broken. What's in that blank?
In that blank, for me, I got to figure it out. That's the only thing I think about. Whatever comes in my life, whatever I deal with, I got to figure it out. So me sitting here pouting about it doesn't do nothing for the situation. And I'm not saying that any of y'all are pouting about it or y'all over, you know what I mean? That's y'all way of handling y'all situation. For me, I don't have a pause button. I got 2 daughters. I gotta take care. At one point I was taking care of my grandmother. I don't have a pause button. So for me, it's like, yo, all right, that happened, but I'm gonna do tomorrow to fix this situation. How I'm gonna get from point A to point B and then figure this out so I can be back on track to do the things that I need to do. Like I said, I have a certain standard of living for myself and lifestyle I want to, keep up.
You never just lay there and say, not today.
Nah, I can't. Well, that's the only time I can do that. Only time I do that is when I'm on vacation. I can sit back and be like, I want to drink.
So you earn your depression, you earn your mental health.
That's it.
Listen, that's not a bad strategy, but it seems like that's it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Did you tell us what breaks you?
Maybe we're about to find out.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I think he tried to sneak
let him get off.
Did you see him move the car like he was done with that?
You trying to go to the next question?
Yeah, he wasn't he?
Want me to tell you why? Because don't nothing break me.
What disappoints you as a man?
For me, nothing. I'm not disappointed.
You're happy with your entire life.
Yeah, I expect everybody, even individually with all 3 of you guys, I know who you are and I know what you're capable of and what you're not capable of, and that goes down the line for every individual. My problem probably is I overanalyze everybody and everything, so I already assess that before I go in a situation, whether it would come to me losing my job, whether it would come to me losing my car, my house, anything I would ever lose in life. I would just assess the situation and move on. I don't ever get into a spot where I feel comfortable that. See, I don't dive down that I enjoy listening. Not enjoy.
You hear them talking.
I hear you guys speaking, and it's great to hear other people's perspective because we're all 4 different individual people, and it's like it enlightens you that there's other people in the world with different things that go on. But I don't never have a moment because I already know that there's nobody else in this world I can count on to do anything for me. That's to eat, sleep, shit, anything, to get another job but me, or get another car, or get another whatever it is. If it happens, I gotta deal with it. If I'm in the spot, I gotta get with it. It's not never that bad for me. So it just goes back to even when we were talking about, like, I wouldn't sit down in the room and be like, well, what am I gonna do? I would still be moving, doing it. I'd rather fuck 8 things up, doing everything to get back on my feet as something, than to sit there and think about what I'm gonna do, because my brain is always going. I know what everybody, you can't disappoint me in doing something. Like, I know what you're capable of.
But we're talking about you, not other people.
No, I know what I'm capable of. I know myself. I have a mirror. I know exactly who I am. If I fuck something up, I know I fucked it up.
Nothing fucks up your day. Like, nothing is like, damn.
You can't fuck up my day. The guy honking outside when I was parking, He don't know me. He's a
secrets to
passing.
life, yeah.
He's a passing of the day.
You ain't
I
gonna
never
wanna
make
fight.
people part of my life. I never get into road rage. I don't roll my window down. I'm not doing any of that shit. You mad because you in traffic? Sucks for you, buddy. Live in New York City. Earlier, I was looking for a park. We was looking for a park. Guy was honking behind Stu, trying to get in the parking spot.
Yeah, but those aren't things that will break your day.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
it
Like, you
does.
caught
I'm
four
like
flats
severe
tires.
loss. I'm talking about
You
like
gotta pay for
severe loss.
You gotta pay for the flats. What's the alternative to that?
Yeah.
But hold on. Like severe loss, right? This is if there's nothing that can break you, like how do you? Let's just say, right?
There's no
let's say-
vulnerability in you at all.
That's
that-
not saying it's not vulnerability in you. It's just saying that at the end of the day, you can sit there, you assess the situation,
But we
and
all
you
have
still have to go.
Because every
That's what
problem
we
has a
just said we
solution.
did.
There you go.
we all
No, because
say
every
that.
problem has a solution. So I never dwell in the problem. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. Sometimes you analyze the problem.
But doesn't that sometimes give gravity to the event? Like, whoa, I lost something huge today. Something
now I
hurt
gotta get it
today.
back.
Yeah.
I'm a gambler,
Yeah,
but
Yeah, but it's
that's-
the admitting that
today.
something affected you.
But that's
But
today.
that's not saying
give me
it
an example-
doesn't
give me an example
affect
of
you.
that. I wanna-
Same one, like
I don't wanna be
same one
personal.
in terms of like
No,
if
personalize
I
it.
lost my job. I lost my job. That doesn't mean I'm wallowing and I'm hoping that another job comes along. It's like, damn, that shit broke me. Now I got to start back over again. I got to figure it out. So that means that something disrupted your life. Your life was going like this the entire time. Something disrupted it. That doesn't mean it broke you and now you're going to commit suicide, you're going to jump off a building.
Right.
That means you had a hiccup and now you got to come back up top. And you got to keep along that path. So something broke you, is a hiccup. Like, we're getting
wanna get
too
personal
tied
with,
up
like,
in the word.
death.
Like
I don't want to get tied up with like death, but if you suffer a loss of life, there is a moment in which where I think it's okay to
So
just be
what I think was
this
happening-
broke me. This broke me in a way like it broke my routine
Yeah,
in
when we
such a
talked
way
about trauma,
that I
that
would
shit
have
broke
to
us.
recognize it for the gravity that it is. It is a huge loss to not have my best friend or whatever right
what's
here,
hap-
right
so
now.
what's happening right now is I'm respecting the fact that you guys say that you got into a break. You guys are not respecting the fact that I'm telling you
You did.
that I'm unbreakable, and you're pushing the goalpost to try to
I
make me
think
breakable.
we're trying to change the definition of the word. We're not saying break meaning that you can't get up and it fucked up your whole life to the point where
You're being
you
a,
can't
that's
move
social.
on.
That's socially extreme. I'm just saying that.
We're saying it in terms of setback. So when we talked about trauma last episode, everybody had a trauma. At some point, that broke you. That broke you for the point that you said, you know what?
At 9.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fine.
the
That's fine. But I'm
Elementary.
saying, but you've had more episodes in your life that you've again dealt with within, hopefully, in your adult lifehood, where you said, you know what? This shit is gonna make me commit to a different change, or it's gonna make me do something different. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you
I'm
were
not
turned into a bomb.
The problem is, I think you're making the word dirt.
Can I
Okay,
say?
you go.
I want to say this, right? Everybody know how much my grandmother means to me, right? Mm-hmm. You all know that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I had to bury her. Mm-hmm. Do you think I had the time to sit here and be boo-hooing, whining, moaning, and be like, yo, looking for help? I had to make sure everything was good.
Yeah.
Clothes, funeral service, casket, even the people to even do the service.
Did you cry at all during that time?
Crying is
So it
not.
broke you.
Crying is just for the moment.
But it broke
It
you for
didn't
that.
break me. Of course you're gonna cry, but it didn't break. I didn't cry to sit there and
You get shot right now, you're gonna start crying. That don't mean you broke.
Oh,
That's what we're saying.
The
That
bullets hurt.
I'm
break
about to
doesn't
say.
necessarily mean that it, like you're in, you're done.
That's what I said.
Break
For
doesn't
me,
mean
it
that.
would look like
This is why I said, hold on, let me just say this. This is why I say this. This is why I feel like the conversation started out one way, and because the answers that you guys gave, which wasn't bad answers, I'll be clear. I feel like you guys are pushing the goalposts to make it.
That's just what yours looks like. Yours looks like you don't break, or his looks like I'm not breaking, but I'm just crying for 10 minutes. That's a break. It doesn't necessarily
Yeah, not
mean that
today.
he
I
has
don't feel
to
like it
stop
today.
working for 3 months.
I'll
or,
agree. I'm gonna dive down your pool and agree with you, but what I'm saying is right now you're pushing the goalpost to change the answer of I understood both of you guys' situation, and
he
he just
is a superhuman, and we're not understanding.
No, it's
No, I'm not saying that.
It's
That's
not
what I'm
that.
saying.
You just-
I am
you-
a creature.
When you understand, listen, man.
I
Some
am
people,
Beowulf.
some people just have different ideas
because
of life,
if I tell you this,
man.
if I sat here and told you that something broke me, then you would be like, yeah, my brother, preach on. But if I'm telling you something didn't break me, now you're like, nothing? Not even a nacho you ate at the gas station? No.
that shit's out of there.
All right, legacy, look back. proudest moments. What are 2 of your proudest moments? Go ahead, Stu.
For me, to have healthy babies. I think that for me is one of the proudest moments. And not only just have healthy babies, they look like me and they're very adorable. So I didn't have to put the emoji.
You're supposed to wait for somebody else to tell your kid that you're emoji. You can't tell your kids are adorable.
Listen, I already know. I already put, because I put it out there. I didn't put the emoji over their face. So, you know, like. Because, you know, little Ray Ray, he got grown to his features. So, you know.
It's terrible.
I'm just saying.
That is terrible.
No, I just put it out there. Like, yo,
All right,
it is what it is.
nigga, what are your 2 proudest moments?
No, I'm not. That's only one though. But I'm just
I'm
saying.
gonna get back to him. He need a break. He need a mental health break.
It ain't my fault, man.
He need a mental health
Yo,
break.
I'm God.
That's an ugly truth he don't want to tell.
Listen, but I'm saying,
Nigga, what are your
I thank God for that, man.
Nigga,
What's up?
What are your 2 proudest moments?
That would have to be my daughter.
Yeah, I was scared for you for a second though. When you said you was about to have a baby, I was like, ooh,
know.
boy.
I made a lot of decisions before then that was only based in how I feel and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I had a very selfish way of looking at things. And now all of a sudden, like one of my first posts on Instagram was like, how do you feel? And it was like responsible. Like I'm responsible for the quality of air that she breathes, right? Like,
And she's adorable. I give you that. She's adorable, bro.
Yo, it's not.
That's what you do. You gotta wait. So it's like you just did. You waited and it happened. You're supposed to wait for one of us to say, "Hey, your kids are adorable."
I already know. So you ain't gotta wait for y'all to tell me that. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that moment in which like I created something, and that creation was like that was huge. And then the other one was it ties back to trauma, but like really realizing that I don't have to be here in relationships, like that was huge for me. That was because most of my life has been tied to relationships, but giving that moment up where I don't have to be here was a huge like growth for me.
I'm gonna get back to Stu's second question. What was your second proudest moment?
Second proudest moment is me being here today. You know what I mean? Like from where we come from or what I've been through in my life, you wouldn't think I have what I would have today. You know, like we grew up, we used to share, but $2 is...
Not the $2.
Not the $2. Everywhere. We used to
That was
jump
a lot of money.
$2, we get the Sunnydale, 2 Sunnydale juices.
What about when it was Stu turned to cook?
I ain't clean the chicken. My bad. But still,
Grandma said you don't gotta clean the chicken.
Talking to?
Yeah.
Who is he talking to?
Both of us was going on strike that night. Me and Beacon like we not eating tonight.
Nah. Yeah, I had to listen, man. I had a mishap when we was cleaning the chicken.
We all had to learn some
we had to learn, right? But
hope you clean your chicken now.
To where I am today, you know, I do clean the chicken. You know, because I gotta take it, make sure they don't get salmonella. But getting back to that, what I was saying is just to be where I'm at today. You know, I have multiple residents, multiple cars, coming from where we come from. Rats, roaches, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you buy furniture from the wrong discount store, you might have bed bugs. And my daughters will never have to deal with that. And I think for me, that's a proud moment for me in itself, you know? I live in a house, I got 4 bathrooms and only took a shit in 2, you know? And that's...
My man dropped the bars.
You know what I mean?
3 of them.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that's for me, like, it wasn't guaranteed for me to have what I have today. So for me personally, that's a proud moment. I'm here.
I dig it. What you got, Mike? What are your 2 proudest moments?
I won't classify them as my 2 proudest. I think having my daughter would have been an easy one to just throw in there, but I'm going to pick 2 different ones. The first one, at the age of 14, was the very first time I shook my older brother's hand. We grew up our entire lives together, lived in the same room, damn near the same bunk beds. And we didn't have a distant relationship. He just had his set of friends. He was 2 years older than me. And it took me getting to high school, 9th grade year, playing freshman basketball. We ended up losing the game by 2 points. But the very last shot, I shot a 3. I ended up missing it. Damn near made it. Don't tell my college story.
That's coming next.
And look, so I was pissed off. I was in the locker room kind of wallowing in my regret for missing the shot. But I came out the locker room, my father and my brother was there, and my father dapped me up first, but then my brother did the same right after. That was the first time we ever shook hands. And he said, yo, that was a good game. I'm proud of you. And that shit touched me to the core. Like, you would have thought I won a championship. I was beaming after that because I've always had my brother and I've always looked up to my brother, but to really feel like at that moment, that literally connection right there is what gave me more purpose to be like, you know what? I don't have to win at everything. I got the love, companionship of my family, my friends, and now the respect of my brother, who I always looked at, you know what I mean? So that was one of my proudest moments, was being told that he was proud of me. So that shit it broke me, but it also broke me in to realize, like, you don't know who else is looking at you. But now to this day, like, we call each other, we tell each other we love you, and we've got a great relationship. Not that we ever had a bad one, but it just took that one moment of significance to really make an impact. The second one, kind of lied a little bit. It is my daughter, but it's not when she was born. My daughter is 10 years old. Y'all know that she's nonverbal. She has autism, so she can't speak. But every time my daughter goes to grab something in the store or she looks back at me for approval, I feel proud because I know that as a father, as a man, I can deliver. For that little girl, if for nobody else in the world, I'm going to bust my ass every day. Hopefully, one day she can ask me for something, but if she never does, I know that I'm going to fulfill everything she ever wants in life because, like the last question, I'm not going to let shit break me. Despite how much it's going to get me down, every time she turns around and looks at me for approval, I feel great because I know that I'm going to deliver whatever it is that she wants for as long as I live. And that's what really gives me purpose. So
I dig it.
Dope.
Dig it.
The kids.
Can I just say one more thing?
What's up?
You know, I forgot to throw this in. It may sound creepy, right?
It is creepy.
No, it's not creepy, but it may sound a little weird, but for me personally, I forgot to throw this in there when the first time I was talking, because I was talking about people's kids. I'm not talking about your kids. I'm sorry. I know some people just want to hide. They're not ready to show the world their kids.
They hide the world from you.
You know what I mean? They put the emojis over. They put the emojis over them. I don't want no disrespect. Be disrespectful.
The comments gonna get you.
Nah, I don't care. But listen, at the end of the day, the thing what I was gonna say was, being that me and my daughter's mother are not together, the fact that she had a period and she was with me, that was a proud moment. Because you know one thing about that, daughters never forget females never forget when they first had their period.
You handled it well too?
Yeah, I handled it. I was on the phone. Yo, listen what I'm saying.
I don't want that shit.
That's what daddy's doing.
I was on the phone like, hey, what size tampons I get?
I don't want that shit.
These shit's got wings.
That's the scariest one. I don't even think I ever bought tampons. I don't want
but
it.
listen, I'm in CVS, bro.
Daughter,
I like that shit.
You know, you
That's not
calling
creepy.
everything.
That's some real man shit.
I had to buy period panties for Christmas.
Yeah.
Just in anticipation. But I don't want that day to come.
Yeah, mine's probably a little bit more. I'm not gonna answer kids because obviously I'm the only one here with a boy, so I don't want to just make you guys feel.
Nah, do your thing.
Away.
Do your thing.
Oh no, I'm just kidding.
What did he say to you?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say.
I did that.
I did that. I don't want to say kids because that'd be too easy. But I would say that one of the proudest moments I had was probably getting my house. To I don't know. You guys been through it before. Like you're sitting down in there and I remember just buying my house. The people that were selling it wasn't too happy. I didn't really give a fuck, right? They were selling the house, right? So I'm cracking jokes and doing all kinds of things, and then just having the keys, sticking the keys inside the door, opening the door, and knowing that this is your house. Scary responsibility because everything else inside of it is your responsibility. Yeah. But it was one of the proudest moments I had in my life because, like Stu said a minute ago, coming from where you come from, I always lived on the third floor or fourth floor of my apartment building. I ain't never had no grill, none of that shit. So you know what I mean? When just to stick the keys in the door was to me like I changed the trajectory of my future kids at the time. What they have, they have now something that I never experienced. My son wants to go in the backyard and play. I got a big ass backyard. I'm not trying to brag on no crazy shit like that. I'm just saying
2 levels.
Yeah, 2 levels. 2 levels. No, but I'm trying to brag. But real talk. But my son goes back there and play, and I take it for granted sometimes that like I never had that. So to see him just no kids in the world running, falling down the little stairs and everything, I'm like that makes me feel good. And the second proudest moment I would say, again, not mentioning my kids, would be at work. My first promotion probably was my proudest moment because I felt like me and Young on my job and everybody who looked at me, like we talked about the stereotypes in one of the episodes before, like, you know, I know sometimes people see me as that guy, right? The guy who walks around with sweatpants, hoodie on. I know exactly how I look.
Sanitation guy.
With my sanitation look, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to sanitation workers.
Uncle Rock, what's up?
No, so for me to get that promotion and to know I earned it, and to know that that I was elite, you know? I didn't take a test, I didn't do nothing. I was elite in that moment. I earned everything that I got in that moment. You couldn't take that away from me. And my dad being excited, my dad being there, being like, yo, that moment right there, that was the proudest moment for me. I felt that immensely.
Did they call it elite, or you just throwing that word out there? That just sound like super Saiyan. Right? It was elite. You got an elite promotion?
My second promotion was more elite. My first promotion, though, was the proudest moment because it was really breaking the mold. I was young, I was hungry, I was ambitious, I was all those things, and there was a lot of things that happened to me. I know not to get back to it, we talked about the breaking thing that could have broke me. Mm-hmm. Oh, like right on the cusp. Right on the cusp when people were trying to get you and the devil was right here. And I said, not today, Satan. And then the trajectory turned.
How you know that wasn't affirmative action?
It wasn't. It wasn't nothing affirmative about that shit.
Now, I like how both of y'all's is like the way someone else looked at you. I think that's kind of dope because you sound like you got recognized.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
being recognized for that was dope. I think that's kind of cool. How
I think that's what my you know how people's like the way you love or whatever it is. I think that's what
your love language.
Love language,
yeah.
right?
Ooh, I don't have that.
Affirmation.
See me.
Affirmation. Yeah, because you do a lot of things in life. You do a lot of
You
things.
look nice, Kush. I'm sorry.
No, I don't. I look like Rob.
I don't affirm you enough.
No, but sometimes in life you want that. You know, you do a lot of things, and like we talk. Sometimes I'm moving so much, and nobody stops to say, "Yo, you did a good job."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I do so much of a good job, to be honest, that nobody ever says it.
Yeah,
you know, I deal with it.
Because I'm elite.
I'm elite. All right, boom, real quick. Shout somebody out and tell them why they make you proud. Go.
Shout somebody out and tell them why they make me proud.
Right in the camera and say it to them.
Is this my camera? That's stupid, you guys. Let me stop. I'm sorry.
How would I do that?
Excuse me. That would be Charlene Mason. Charlene Mason is my mother, and all of her kids have a air of manners. I love the fact that whatever she didn't give me, she gave me manners. And knowing that manners applies to everything is exactly, like, it's probably one of my most valuable tools, my manners and my courtesy. And that was instilled in me because of my mother, and I appreciate you for doing so. Thank you.
Shout out Miss Mason.
You make me proud.
I'm actually blame her for the bad stuff and the good stuff.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword, right? Yeah, Miss Mason, we'll call you for all the edits.
Only if you knew what your son was saying, but it's all right.
But you don't,
She was at the premiere.
She was at the premiere.
Yeah, she heard you.
She was in that movie.
Matter of fact, she said sorry to me. She did.
I'm sorry, but you gotta deal with that.
So that's your
What
son?
you guys do?
I would say my daughter.
Shout out to your daughter.
Shout out to Anaya Hemingway. We came a long way, you know, as far as with school and getting into Kumon and doing the extra tutoring and just making sure that she was on the grade level that she needed to be. Like, I give her kudos because, like, Lord knows that it was a struggle. I was scared for a moment. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared. But shout out to her.
Shout out to Anaya.
You know, shout out to Anaya.
She's actually been with us for this entire journey.
Yeah, she pretty much do. I take her everywhere because she gonna learn. She gonna learn. Like, that's my personal assistant. You know what I mean? Like, you know, she gonna see what her father has to go through to make sure I provide for her. So she gonna get it.
What you got, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Who I want to shout out would be my dad, Tito. Y'all know him.
Shout out Tito.
Wait, what up, wait? And for reasons that some of y'all know, most people do not know, I've looked at my father my entire life as my hero. despite his shortcomings and setbacks, and last episode we talked about, he'd been back and forth in and out of the prison system growing up, but he always made sure that, again, I learned from his mistakes, and he made sure that I did not make those mistakes because he made those sacrifices to make sure that I didn't have to do so. And in doing that, the last time he went in, he spent 8 years in there, and it would have been very easy for him to come home and pick back up an easy lifestyle. But he hasn't. He's somebody that's dedicated himself to waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning, busting his ass for 2 different shifts, and not looking to take the easy way out, because it would have been so easy for him to come home and pick up where he left back off. But he's committed himself to his family, knowing that he's missed an amount of time that he can't get back. And like we talked about before, you don't make the same mistake twice. Or if you make the mistake that you know that you have to repent from or you have to account for, you give everything that you have to make sure that the people that were there for you know that you're going to be there for them for the remainder of their lives. So with that, definitely shout out to my pops. You're still making me proud. You're still my hero. And I love you.
Shout out Tito.
Yeah.
Tito.
I'm a cheat. I'm gonna do 2. First, I want to shout out my pops.
Yeah.
That's my guy, Lindsey Green.
Stole my answer.
Yeah, shout out to my pops, right? One, for somebody who went through one of the craziest wars we ever had in this country, Vietnam.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We appreciate your service.
Came back and became a productive member of society. Also, my mom dropped. He definitely got in there and raised 2 kids. Got in there, started cooking and teaching us a lot of things. So shout out to Lindsey Green. We appreciate you. That stands alone. But I also want to shout out my man Jay, my partner. He makes me proud too. He has a Loud Entertainment. He has a DJ and music company. I don't want to mess it up. He every day he drives me also in this to show me that the little different things when he does weddings and stuff like that, pushing, doing the ice machines, DJing, and just the little nuances he does behind closed doors that pushes me in the meetings and stuff that we have, just to go to the next level as a businessman. You know what I mean? To approach these conversations we have also too when we talk in business. He does his thing day in and day out, and I'm like, just to have the job that we have, and then at the same time to do business. So also shout out Jaime Santiago doing your thing.
Big J.
Jaime.
Jaime.
Got the J, Jaime.
That's right.
All right, boom, 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 boom.
I'm proud of all y'all.
You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of y'all too.
I'm proud of y'all too.
Yeah,
Definitely proud of y'all
too.
Honestly, you know what? Before we even leave that segment, the men that I circle or that are in my circle, that I surround myself with, you gentlemen to my right, you to my left, a few of the friends that are in my circle, it makes me the most proud when I look at my friends list, and I can't point to one bad father, one bad mother. Literally everybody that is on my timeline is somebody who is going out and busting their ass for their children and making sure that they do what they do as a responsible adult. So one more time, I just want to shout out all y'all, but everybody that's watching this, everybody that's watching it, I feel like everybody that's associated with me is somebody that's doing what they're supposed to do. So
yeah, drink here, but you can't put it back down till you drink.
I was finishing mine.
All right.
He want to be, he got to be sophisticated.
We need a Rick Ross to come in right there.
I already segues.
Right. I need Ross to right.
Don't look for me.
What you see is what you get. Transparency in relationships. We're gonna start some SHI garbage in some people's
Get
houses.
your black eye makeup.
man.
Yeah. How do you feel about going through phones? And I'm gonna answer that one first. First of all, the title says it all for me. What you see is what you get. You shouldn't be looking through your person's phone, period. You're asking for trouble. And when I say you're asking for trouble is, if you think your girl or your guy is that attractive, so does the rest of the world. So you're gonna have comments and questions and statements in there to that person. How that person handles it is not up to you. Okay, I know in every man or woman's mind, you think your girl or your man should be like, "Nah, bitch, leave me alone. Nah, motherfucker, don't call my phone." It don't go like that. People are still co-workers and they still have to coincide. And they're not that offended by the attraction either, let's be clear.
They like
everybody likes attention.
Like Aisha Curry, she said, "Why nobody pay attention to me?"
Yeah, everybody likes attention. So with that said, I think looking through somebody's phone is asking for a relationship problem that doesn't exist. I don't think there should be transparency in phones. I think that's the last level of privacy that we have as a person. Sometimes you want to complain about your significant other. You want to say, this bitch or this motherfucker is getting on my nerves. Ooh. Excuse my French.
You say that?
To women, no. Some people talk like that. And if you're in your phone, if you're talking to a friend, and if your female sees that and they're like, oh, he's calling me a bitch.
Yeah.
They take it that way. Not saying that they shouldn't, but you just venting in that moment to a friend, like, this is what's going on in my life. And then the goalposts get pushed, or you're talking about our shit outside the house, or you have somebody trying to talk to you, or why are you still speaking to that person? I just feel like telephones should be left alone. If it's not your name, and let me tell you something, I had somebody say real quick, phone was going off, and somebody was like, oh, so-and-so's calling your phone. So they decided to pick it up, right? I'm not available because I wasn't next to the phone in the first place. So no reason for you to pick the phone up to tell the person I'm not available. When I don't answer, guess what? Still not available. So you only pick the phone up to show a level of authority to say that I have the ability to pick up this person's phone. And I think it's intrusive, I think it's rude, and I think you ask for trouble. What you got, Mike?
Yeah. I'm going to speak to both sides of this because I've done it as a young man, but my advice as a grown man is do not.
You scared?
Yeah. Admittedly, yes. My mother told me, again, when I was a young man, likely probably at the end of my high school days, going through situations and situationships and entanglements with young ladies. If you are looking for something in somebody's phone, two things are going to happen.
Gonna find it.
You either going to find it and you're going to feel like shit, or you ain't going to find anything and you're going to feel like shit. Because you went through somebody's phone, you dismissed the trust that they had for you, and you either, one, confirm the fact that you don't think they're doing anything, or two, you've just created more doubt in your mind because you're thinking, oh shit, now she's so good that she's deleting everything. She's even better than I thought. So I would say that, one, don't do it, because if you get to that point where you feel like you have to prove to yourself that this person is untrustworthy, then they're either untrustworthy or you are. So somebody needs to remove themselves from that equation. But the second part of that is, I've done that. I've done that in the past. And I've done it with justification in my own mind. Not saying this right now, but justification knowing that how I was moving when I was young, I had shit in my phone that if she found first, I better have some ammunition. Because if I ain't got nothing to bring to the table, I have lost this war. So when she sit down and say, hey,
that's it.
Look, when she sit down and say, hey, can we talk? I go, who the fuck is Rodney? Then it's gonna be like, oh, you know what? Just eat. Everybody, you eat your. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You eat, I'ma eat, and then we start it over again. But that doesn't make it right. But again, in doing that, I've tried to look for shit that I could use as ammunition in deterrence of the shit that I already had ammo for myself. So don't do it. Don't do either one of those. Don't be sneaky on your end and then go sneaking to try and find something on somebody else's, and it just doesn't feel good.
What you guys do?
I was just gonna say what he said. Get out of jail free card. You know what I mean? That's really pretty much.
Load them up. I got another one here.
You tripping up, baby. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's pretty much what it was. It wasn't to go on their phone to be like, oh, you know what I mean, to make a nuisance or have a big argument about it. It was just more or less like, if I find out, oh shit, you done opened up a can of worms. Put that in my pocket. I'm gonna hold on to them one. So that's pretty much was jail free card. I don't really care to do it personally. That's
I'll tell them we don't condone it.
We don't condone it.
One of us condones it.
Hold on.
I know it's coming. I know the condoning.
Listen, I'm just saying.
No.
If I know you, because I've been outside, and if you've been outside, and you think you're going to play me because you've been outside, and I've been outside myself, and I know the game.
I'm going to meet you outside.
I'm going to meet you outside.
I see.
It's actually remarkable that we're having this discussion because these are my answers. This is. I know this for a fact.
That's a terrible answer.
Hold on. This is my old answers too.
Can't break it.
Remember, I want to call on my age for just a bit. We grew up with the phone, and you didn't always know how to handle the phone. Okay,
Right.
So
That's a poor excuse for the garbage you about to
someone
spew.
no, because someone in right when we were okay, whatever. The point is, I used to go through the phones for the same reason because there's two things I know. There's the absolute truth about who that person is in their phone. That is it. And
That's not true because I'd be lying.
No. What you watch, what you consume, what you text, what you, all those elements of you, the way you speak to your coworkers, the way you speak to your supervisors or everybody in your phone, and the way you speak to clients, it's a different fraction of you. But you, all that together in one place, your girl can't read that properly. That's just the problem. The problem is there's no way in the world that your girl can read that properly. That yes, I do have a flirtatious conversations with coworkers, or yes, I do talk to my supervisor as if he's God when I come home and complain about him all day. There's a bunch of things that...
That's what I was saying in reference to it. I'd be lying.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We like, yo, I love working here.
Y'all got no trust. That's what it is. Why y'all hiding behind that?
What are you talking about?
To even go through the person's phone, y'all.
Because
No, we don't condone it.
We don't condone
No.
it.
And here's my other reason.
Y'all
Listen.
slapping fives and
Here's my
jumping up
other
and down.
reason.
We was young.
We are having a discussion out loud about how if anybody in this relationship is fucked up, it's me somehow. And I know that that's not true. And sometimes you got to go on a mission to find out that you're not the only one.
It is true. It is true to some degree. Even if you are somebody
We keep having this conversation
Listen,
that I'm the bad guy.
let me get 100. Even if you are somebody who is doing absolutely nothing wrong in your relationship, if you're looking for confirmation to say that the other person is the worst one or the evil one, you are doing something. You're looking for an out. So before you excuse yourself and say, I want to leave, now you're trying to justify it by saying you did this to make me leave.
Exactly.
Take your punk ass up and do what you're supposed to do. If you don't want to be here where you
Going
are.
through the phone is never a point of like a breakup. No one's breaking up.
Bullshit, it depends on what you find.
Nah.
If you find her busting it open for a real one, you gotta go.
Jaime's picture in there. You find Jaime's picture.
Like I said, for me,
You find Jaime with the leg up.
like for me, I'm at a different place. I could care less.
I don't go through them anymore. I refuse to go through them.
I'm in a different place in my life.
Oh yeah, after you done went through all the phones.
Because I'm cool. Here's the reason. Because I'm cool with the way that she speaks to me or the way that person interacts with me. I'm cool with that being the only reflection that I have of that person.
No, what will be.
You talk to someone else doesn't matter to me. And now I understand that.
To look through somebody's phone is to confirm your insecurity. So again,
It's not insecurity.
It is.
It's just a get out of jail free
It's
card.
nice. It's insecure.
But that's us. That's what I'm saying.
That was what it was.
Let me get
No.
a 100.
Let me finish.
Let me get a 100.
You get a lot of hundreds.
I'm using the correct terminology. We agreed to
It
this.
is an insecurity.
It is an insecurity
No,
because
I just want to go
you're
outside.
protecting yourself before somebody else can expose you. That doesn't mean that you're a punk. That just means you're trying to protect what you have before somebody else blows that shit up. So before they do that, you're going to say, yo, let me go out here and make sure that I've covered all my bases because I know I'm doing wrong. And when I get caught, now I'm at least going to meet you on equal ground. Because I don't want to feel like I let somebody down. I don't want to feel like I've disappointed somebody.
All right, so what if you talk to a girl, right? You know, you bagged her off of the pretense that she was promiscuous and she was outside. She was doing her right, yeah. I'm not gonna call her that. She was free spirit with her body.
Promiscuous. That's
She
the
was
French word for hewer.
She was very free with her body, right? Now she's talking to you. Do you really feel like you're the only one?
But you
No.
No, but
But at the end of the day, you just at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this: if you come into a situation like that, right? Me personally,
go fuck some shit.
I'm trying to keep a straight face.
Me personally, right? At the end of the day, I already know what's up. So if I'm doing whatever I'm doing,
no.
I just want to make sure that Yo, listen. You know you was talking to Adam yesterday.
I'ma say
and you
this.
sent a pussy pics.
I'ma say this for me.
And I'm cool.
Put your pussy pics on live. I give you $1,000.
Put it on glass.
Hold on.
I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. Yeah, I'm gonna say this from my point of view.
That's the second question.
You guys are making excuses.
No, we're not.
You're making excuses.
I don't care no more, but that was what I used to do when I was
Everybody
petty.
said don't do it. Don't do it.
You say you was petty, and then when I say I'm being petty on that, then I'm wrong for that, right?
Listen, I'll show. No, hold on. I'll show that you'll go through a phone.
Go ahead.
The levels of success that you actually dream of and you wish to obtain. You get in that realm. You would never spy on those who you plan on doing business with.
No.
You'll never be anything convert. The way that person speaks to you is the only answers that you're willing to accept.
I'm too direct for that.
No, but what I'm saying is,
But what if they're
there's
not
an
direct?
I don't care if you're direct. I'm always gonna be direct.
You're
What I'm
direct,
saying
but
is
it's
this.
not about you. It's about them too.
So you want to get
you go
into
pushing the goalposts
here's-
again.
No. You are getting into business with somebody,
Okay,
right?
I'm getting a business with you.
It's a huge deal.
Huge, bigly.
I want to make sure that this doesn't fall through.
Are you going to look
Are
at his
you only going to
Instagram?
trust what I say?
His Instagram is public knowledge.
No, what I'm saying is,
You got
are
to push the goalposts.
what I'm saying
valid
is,
point.
are you only trusting what I say, or would you try in some way to figure out exactly where my head was?
There's a distinction there.
That's like again.
There's
I'm
a
gonna
distinction
go
there.
on to the next question because you know what's happening now. Again, when you guys are making excuses and I try to save y'all from
But
yourself.
I'm right though.
But like, that's why
I
the dickles are
spy.
going.
Listen, if we gonna do big business, I'll spy on you.
All right, I hear you, brother. Spy on me. You know what? I can see you guys win. I'm wrong.
Y'all niggas
You're right.
gotta, if y'all
Really
got
quick.
another group
We
chat,
broke him.
Really quick,
You gotta break it.
Y'all broke me. Y'all just broke me. Y'all broke me because of time constraints.
Yeah.
Breakers, go.
Yeah.
What should really quick? I need this from you. We're going to the next question. Y'all molested
Go
this
ahead,
topic.
come on.
What's your thoughts on hanging out with people your partner doesn't care for?
I'm gonna go first. Don't do it. Don't. All right. Again, now this is where we make a distinction. If it's somebody of the opposite sex that they are not comfortable with, that you had a relationship with, that's the distinction. If it's somebody that you're friends with, say me and you, my girl don't like you. She don't like you because of who she thinks you are. I wouldn't stop the friendships that I have to appease her because it's not going to directly affect her. Now, if I was out hanging out with a female friend that's gonna make you think a certain way about what we're doing, then I would kind of give it some consideration. But again, if you have a mutual understanding before you get into a full relationship of who your friends are, who you're gonna be around, then I don't think that anybody else has any authority to say who you can be around.
Me personally,
What's your thoughts on hanging out with people your partner don't care for? Everybody got that one person your partner don't care for.
It just depends on the situation. You know what I mean? As long as this person.
That's too. I'm not letting you out. I'm not letting you. That's too easy.
It really depends on the situation.
See,
like I don't listen. I don't really hang out with anybody that's not doing good for
I'm
themselves.
telling you, if your person tells you, I don't want you.
What is your reason? It has to have a substantial reason.
The reason is she feels like it's valid.
I don't like that person.
The point is she feels like
you
it's
don't like
valid.
him for what though?
He's saying she has to justify
She
why.
has to justify.
But I'm telling you that she did her
No, don't push the goalpost.
He has a goldfish in his pocket. That's his reason. That's her reason.
So you're saying that you would do it if it's justified. If it's not
If it's justified, if it was a justifiable situation, then I can understand.
He's saying he has to agree to justify.
Yeah, you understand? Not saying I have to agree, but it has to be justifiable.
Okay.
You just can't say, yo, I don't want you hanging out with your homeboy.
means you agree. Like, all right,
But
I hear what you're
she
saying.
has already justified it.
But what is she? How she
Okay,
justify?
hold on. Let's move on. Let's not push the goalpost. Let's say that. Let's just leave it like that. What you got? I don't want to push this goalpost because we keep pushing these things back 10 more yards. 100 yards, brother.
You gotta find another goalpost. Stop using goalposts.
You recite the question.
Kicking the can. We kicking the can. All right, we're kicking the can down the road. You go.
You recite the question for me, please.
What's
Let's
your
hit a
thoughts on
full
hanging out?
reset.
Okay,
let's hit a full reset.
Oh, here
Break
we go. You broke me. What's your thoughts on hanging out with people your partner doesn't care for?
I think that you shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't talk about it.
Lie?
For you, let's specifically alienate you, not in general, not what you telling our public audience to do. For you, if your person says, I don't want you hanging out with Tanya,
I would not talk about it.
So you would do it, you just wouldn't talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's a dangerous game.
You gotta learn.
No, I like his.
Remember he just said learn how to lie,
He
right?
said learn how to lie, and before, like he been saying for 5 or 6 episodes now, he got a lot good.
Yeah. And what about yourself? Oh, you started off.
I don't break it. I don't care if you don't like it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do it. If me and that person is cool, if I'm friends with that person, I'm friends with that person. If that's the type of relationship I have.
So I said, don't talk about it. Why you looked at me like I was crazy when you
Because I didn't say I wasn't gonna talk about it. I told you I'm very direct.
So you gonna talk about it?
If you don't like it, that's your own
So
you.
I just said, don't go out with this person, and you don't go like, I'm going out with this person.
He said he's still gonna do it. Now, would you still do it if it's gonna affect your relationship?
Yes.
AKA put it into your relationship.
Yes.
All right.
Don't push the goalpost. If she says you're moving out tomorrow.
I'm out of here. Fuck that.
He said, my keys.
Yes, Mike, I got my own set of keys. You gotta change the lock because I know she's got
2 levels in the backyard. I got 2 levels of sleep.
sleep in the shed. All right. Please hold for assistance. Handling breakups. What's the worst breakup that you've been through or have seen? Let's be careful on these.
No edits. Hashtag no edits.
What you got, Bigger?
I've been broken because of breakups. I've taken moments because of breakups, and sometimes they were loud in nature, and sometimes they were just like, I can't believe that person is out of my life. Somehow, some way, this fell apart, and yeah, so the worst breakup that I've probably ever seen would have to be my mother and my father. My mother and my father, their breakup led to my grandfather banning him from the yard. Like, he couldn't even come in the yard. Like,
that's crazy.
That's crazy, because if I'm allowed to go to the park, then I could meet my father there. But like that kind of ban, that kind of absolutism of like, don't come around here no more.
And granddaddy couldn't even walk really like that.
Yeah,
So
he was threatening him from the window.
Yeah.
Like,
Nigga, don't you come with us that day.
That's a
that would have
boundary.
to be,
Yeah.
that would have to be the absolute worst breakup I've seen.
What do you got, Stu?
Worst breakup? That's a good one. Like, I know
You
me.
ever been through or seen?
I haven't really been through bad breakups. Usually my breakups is just be like, mutual. You know what I mean? So.
You got a funny breakup then?
Funny
Give me
breakup?
something.
Anybody got your Netflix password still?
Nah. I never give out
I got
that.
other people's Netflix.
I keep that. I keep that in the pocket. I don't care what we go through. Like, you ain't getting my
That's what's in
Netflix.
your social security.
Yeah,
at this
I'm about to
point.
say.
Got your hoodoo boo.
Yeah, nah. As far as breakups, I really haven't seen. I'd say my mom's and her second baby father. I would say that was a real toxic relationship between them two as far as breakups. You know, he's at that time. I don't want to speak about him like too much, but you know, we in a good place now. But it was a toxic situation. So for that period of time, I think that was a toxic from what I've seen in my lifetime. But for me personally, I don't have like bad breakups.
Come on, Mike. Who broke your heart?
I got one that's definitely one I want to reach into, but both of y'all kind of spoke to the parents initially, and I think that was my first one that really affected me and touched me was when my parents broke up and we split. And again, I kind of told the story on a previous episode, was that me and my brother had to now leave our cool room as kids and go sleep in my grandmother's living room. And you know what I mean? Sleep on the goddamn couch and in the dining room. And it wasn't fun, and it wasn't anything that I, would want to go through again. But that was the time in my life that I feel like I was able to actually have conversations with myself really young. I was like 6 or 7 years old. Again, trying to figure this shit out. Like, damn, what do I not have a daddy now? Do I not, you know what I mean? Do I have to go live with somebody else? Do I have to, like, how does this work out? For a 6-year-old, you don't have those answers. So that was the first one that really kind of affected me. And I'm not going to say it's affected me to a point where it really traumatized me. But the second one, which I kind of wasn't prepared for, and it wasn't a relationship, it was my daughter. It was my daughter leaving me and moving across the country. Me and her mother, we were done. I mean, for months already, we were done. And, you know what I mean, that was okay because, like you said, I've been through breakups. And every time I've been in a breakup, I've gotten over it. Maybe not in that day, maybe not. Maybe I had to take some time like you. And I know that those things get better. But as a man, knowing that you brought somebody into this world who is, in my mind, being taken away from you, that shit hurt me to no end because it's like I couldn't do anything. No matter what kind of money I had, no what kind of situation I provided, I felt like I had no choice. And I remember down to literally the exact minute, my daughter was born on November 12th. She was 1 year old on November 12th, and then on November 16th, she left me at 8:41 a.m. in the morning. I sat there and cried like a fucking little girl on the bed. And even to this day now, even I go see her once a month. I fly out there for a couple of days, and when I'm on my way back to the airport, the night before, I have a conversation with her, let her know daddy's leaving. But it still breaks my heart to this day to have to leave her, knowing that I would do anything in the world for that girl. But having to admit to myself that you're not here. You're not always going to be here. You can't always be here. Sometimes through no fault of your own. That shit still breaks me to this day.
Yeah, that's definitely should be another topic for us, especially for fathers. When you're dealing with the separation, I think that breakup right there is definitely an issue that we need to touch in more. But that's for another episode.
Yeah. But I'm like, I don't have that deep of situation. That was real. Guys had some real stuff. My breakups usually were my fault. Just petty P, just being petty. I think before my last relationship that I'm in now, the prior to that, I think that was just my liar. I mean, you very reverse on my liar who lied about everything. She killed everybody in her family every week in conversation. I think that was probably the weirdest breakup I had. I'll call it that because I think we both just kind of admit that we both were just lying to each other the whole time. And then she wound up with a baby and like a whole boyfriend who worked for transit and everything. So I'm like, for me, I was like, oh, whoa, nice to meet you. After fucking with you for 2 years, hey, nice to meet you. And it was just kind of like, we literally no communication. She could be dead right now, for all I know, because she allegedly had cancer at one point too.
Oh wow! What the hell?
Yeah, no, she was a habitual liar. Though. I mean, if she does have it, she knows what I'm talking about. If she has it, I hope you're in remission or whatever. But she was a lying sack of shit. She lied about everything. She lied.
You hope the treatments is working out?
I like how we handled that as far as good answers. But when we had started this off, we was nervous. And I think that we're not actually going to where we want to go.
Oh, and I want to say this before, too. I want to say this because sometimes people take your statements and what's the name? So I wasn't making little of cancer. My mom died of cancer. She had cervical cancer. She passed away.
Okay, absolutely.
So I wasn't making light of cancer itself. I was making light of somebody who said they had cancer, and I know the difference what cancer looks like, and she didn't have it. Yeah. So I wanted to just make that clear, so nobody be like, "Oh, he's being trivial," because the internet will tear you up. I'm already getting told.
Yeah, you're already a moron.
Yeah. Last.
What's wrong with working at McDonald's?
Yeah. Whack Arnold's, right? I'm gonna get killed for that one. We'll see how people
still.
All right, really quick. In today's culture, what's the best way to end things?
Ghosting.
Oh. You're a bastard. Go ahead, though.
Ghosting. What is this resolve that we need?
Ghosting, though? Disappearing?
He's
consistent. He's consistent. Let him be consistent. Remember he talked about before, it's good for dating, and I ghost her, remember?
Go ahead.
Ghosting is the best answer. That's the best way to break up.
All right.
Yeah.
What you guys do?
I'm curious to know why. Why is that the best way?
Oh, I thought this was quick. You want to go into it? I'll tell you exactly why.
This is the end. We at the end. Let me hear what you
There's never going to be a resolution that's going to satisfy both parties.
That is true. You're always going to want to know why. I agree with that.
And even if you tell me why, you'll never tell me that the truth is you had somebody else this whole time. That'll never, ever happen.
I like that.
So if that's the case,
I did that.
Okay, you can ghost her ass. All right.
No, not her ass. Everybody. Just move on.
Everybody.
He said, man, that's a good question. Because this guy's a savage. He said, just ghost everybody. Now, I ain't going to ghost, people, per se. But, you know when it ain't right. So if it ain't right, it ain't right. So you just have that conversation, be like, look, why we playing this game? You know you ain't feeling me. I ain't feeling you like that. So
You thought I was feeling you?
yeah, and I ain't a munch. So at the end of the day, it's okay. We can do you, boo. Have a good day.
What you got, Mike? You might get the phone.
You do that on the phone or in person? I'm sorry.
It depends on wherever we at.
Just don't do that at your house because then she won't leave.
Yeah.
Okay, we talking about. Repeat the question again.
In today's culture, what's the best way to end things?
What's the best way to end things? So
In person or on the phone?
have the conversation you said.
Right.
I'm asking you, is that in person or on the phone, in text?
You can do it on phone. I prefer on phone and in text. Not on text, but I prefer on
You can't
phone.
swing on that phone.
I prefer, that's what I'm saying.
Separation agreement through email.
She be looking like,
I don't know, like, how does it go?
Because you know what? Sometimes
Boys in the hood?
when you have those
Like this
conversations, even though she may feel away the same way that you feel, she don't want you to be the person to sit there and navigate that
Of course.
conversation.
Somebody gotta be the bad guy.
Yes, yeah.
So win-win.
When we all know when it ain't right, bro.
All right, we know. Okay,
When you get hit with a bottle of
how do
Hennessy.
you said have the conversation.
No,
I'm just asking.
He's just saying basically, if you get hit in the head with a 4-4, if you eligible to get hit with a 4-400 sign, don't do that. Don't do that breakup.
Do not
don't
do
do it in
it.
person.
Mike,
Yeah.
what you got?
The best way to break up, I think, is honesty before secrecy. If you feel like you got to maneuver around and be sneaky to avoid having that actual honest conversation with somebody that says, listen, I don't want to be with you. I don't think you're the right person for me. Then you've lost it already. But at the same time, I think it's very irresponsible for you to have your cake and eat it too. Meaning you shouldn't be stringing somebody along for your benefit knowing that you don't want to bring them along all the way. I think that the only thing that we owe anybody else in a relationship is for them to have the opportunity to make their own decisions. Don't make those decisions for them. Don't be out here, fucking around behind somebody's back knowing that you don't want to actually be with them long term when they're busting their ass to give you the world. If you only want them for a certain segment of what they bring, let them know that. It ain't gonna make them feel good, but they'll be able to make decisions about themselves without having an idea that you're included. So if you're removing yourself from a situation and not informing that other party, I think that shit is deceivious, and I think that rather it's deceitful, and I don't think that that's the best way to break things up.
But what if y'all both on the same page, but
if y'all both being
Nobody's
sneaky,
going to pull a trigger.
nobody,
Yeah.
and that's what it boils down to. Is sometimes a lot of females and men we'll be in relationships knowing that we want to pull the trigger, but nobody want to be the evil guy.
I've been
so
there.
if you don't want to be the evil guy, how do you go about it?
I've been there. I've been there.
Look, I'll text it for you.
I've been there. I've been in those situations where, again, you don't want to disappoint people. You don't want to disappoint somebody who looks at you in high regard or has admiration for you.
But why we gotta be less than you answer. Go ahead. I feel like I'm stuck.
Just cut my answer and told him to answer.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Because I want to get to you before I go in. Before I go crazy.
I honestly don't think people should be breaking up with people. I think people need to analyze their relationships, and I think people always think that there's more out there, and it's not. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If you got a woman, you're going to get some same woman problems. If you got a man, you're going to get some same man problems.
So just stay here.
I think so. I think you need to figure out what you got. I think a lot of times people need to figure out what they have. We live in a microwave world right now where people will be dating a guy or dating a girl, and it's like all the grass is greener because you see that.
No, but what if you're dealing with somebody you know that you cannot elevate to the next level? So it is going to be a situation where I have to separate myself from this person, no matter what I did to explain to her, no matter what encouragement, no matter what she's trying to do with herself, it doesn't equate for us to elevate to that next place. With that being said, it's not saying the grass is greener on the other side, but in that situation, this situation, I can't go nowhere with you.
I think minus toxicity where it comes to somebody literally draining you all day or somebody physically putting hands on somebody else, I think you need to figure it out, because it's just in any relationship where there's two people trying to make one life is always going to be a problem, right? Because that's like right now, if you go home and you're like, damn, I really want some chicken, but the other person already made fish. That's what you got to eat tonight, right?
I can go buy some chicken.
Yeah, but now you cause the issue because the person's like, I just cooked all day for you and whatever. So it causes
us.
I did.
For us.
So now it causes a problem.
I get what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is, Yes, minus extreme.
So why she didn't call me first before she was cooking dinner? But anyway, go ahead.
Minus extreme toxicity or physicality, domestic issues. I think that you should figure out how to work out your relationships.
I don't even like that word. I don't like the word toxicity or toxic. If you're dating somebody who you think has become toxic, then you didn't do your homework in the beginning. And that's not to say
That's
that
not
people,
true. That's not true.
Listen,
bro.
that's not to say that
That's
people
not
didn't
true.
change. That's not to say that people can't change. That means that you didn't give them enough time to see all facets of them before you decided that you wanted to be in a relationship with them. Like you just said, you figure out what you got. So at some point, you're gonna figure out, like, damn, she wasn't the greatest person I thought she was,
Sometimes
but
it's too
she's
late.
mine. So we're gonna figure this shit out.
Sometimes it's too late. You're a year into it, and the girl telling you her father died twice, or her father died the
You a
first.
year in figuring out she crazy.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
No,
It's not your fault.
If somebody
She
tells
gotta
you,
kill him twice before you notice that was the second grandfather.
Yeah.
You have to, like, it takes some
when
time.
her father died,
She was crazy before, but she had a bigger
She
butt.
killed her father,
No,
but
her
then
father
her father died another year
and
later.
then when her father dies later, and I'm like, all right.
Don't help this nigga.
No, it happened. It was live. It happened.
It was live.
Her father passed away allegedly, and I was like, oh, that's terrible. And then like 7 months later, when I'm like, yo, we about to meet up, her father died again. I'm like, your father can't die
You
twice.
speaking to a specific situation with a crazy person.
100%. But okay, when I was dating her, she had quirky ways. No.
Wow.
No.
Indicator.
Quirky ways where it's
Indicator.
like she would just kind of be off to herself, not like not
Introverted.
introverted, not projecting anything on me, right? But then it got to the point where I guess it became like a fetish for her that people were dying. And then it just became a thing where her family was just dying every week, to the point where I would call him like, yo, uncle died, bro.
You should have left her crazy ass.
Nah, it became exciting at some point. I'm gonna hold you.
Accountability, see?
I'm accountable for it. I was like, who gonna
Own
die
your
next?
crazy ass.
It was like Netflix. I'm like, who gonna die next, bro? And then when her father,
So the best way to break up
is not to. Figure it out.
not to.
Figure it
Not
out.
to.
Oh man.
I think that's the best way to break up. Or ghost them.